So let's do this thing here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, it's not a good thing. That's not good. Lo dirán con los judíos. Me está bien triste eso. Está bien malo. Sí, bien duro. Es que son muchos problemas, papi, en el mundo. Son muchas cosas. No sabemos lo que es. No sabemos lo que es. Pero vamos a ver. Bueno, lo tienen bloqueado. Si lo tienen bloqueado, estamos totalmente bloqueados. Hasta con una persona. Sí. Tú vas a poder a ver. Sí. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Before I get into all the subjects I'm going to get into, I ask all of you for a favor to please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to do that for us, all right, guys? Please don't forget. That's the least you guys can do for us, all right? Please. Anyway, guys, this morning I woke up and I've been talking to you guys about that I like to buy gold. You know, that's what I like to do, buy gold. And I've been giving you, every time I do a live, I've been telling you the price of gold, you know. And to my surprise, this morning, gold was at $3,452.80 an ounce. And I had the urge that I wanted to do a little, you know, I wanted to sell something, you know, sell a couple of ounces of the gold that I have, you know. But I spoke to a person that I believe has a lot of knowledge in the gold there, you know, situation, and he told me, you know, you know, if you want to do it, you do it, but you know, I think that a lot of things are happening in the country at this moment. It's very sad to hear what's happening with Israel and Iran and you know all that good stuff. You know, it's happening around the world, and also what's happening in the United States. You know that we have you know all these people that don't agree with what's happening with immigration and they're protesting all over the United States, and so just a lot of things are happening. And he told me, listen, you know, I believe gold, you know, this week coming, next week, you know, next week, I believe that gold is going to hit, you know, this is somebody that knows more than me, you know, and I'm just hearing him out, you know. He believes that gold will hit next week between $3,600 and $3,700, you know. So, you know, with those numbers that he told me, you know, I stopped, you know. I said, wow. And he says, yeah, things are not looking good right now around the world, not looking good for us in the United States. And, you know, just things are just going, you know, a little bit not in the right direction. So he was telling me that, you know, to hold on, you know, if you need the money, then do it, you know. And I said, no, I just want to, you know, cash it in something that I've been holding on for so long, and you know, I bought it, you know, you know, kind of economic, and like, you know, I want to make a couple of coins, but he said that no, don't do it right now because the situation right now around the world is not looking good, and I believe even the government from our country got involved already with helping out Israel. You know, I mean, to all those countries. You know, I wish on all those countries, I wish this peace, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, like, you know, let's say an example. You know, that they're happy because things are, you know, happening for them. You know, like let's say maybe now the Iron Sheik tunic man. You know, over there from you know, Dubai, you know, maybe this you can help him out, you know, to sell his watches, you know, that he has them all there, you know, and has hundreds of millions of dollars of watches, you know, that he can't sell. Maybe he'll think now that with this situation, you know, an outbreak can happen, and you know how it is, you know how people think, you know. So just if you guys have gold, I'm telling you my story. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you, you know, is going up. You know, it's at 34.52, and it was at 34.08 just 48 hours ago. And he told me this thing. Also, somebody, again, I almost forgot. Also, somebody from this channel, from one of our organic subscribers, one of our loyal subscribers, as yourself, he wrote to me and he told me, don't move from there, because he saw the show and he saw me talking about gold, and he heard me talking that I have plans of, you know, flipping some gold, and he said, don't do it. This is gonna go to $5,000 to $10,000. That's crazy. It's really crazy if it, listen, if gold goes up to that price of 5,000, let's say 5,000, we're having some serious situation happening around the world, but in our country too. We're having some. I don't, I don't want to get into that because that's not my cup of tea, and I don't want to mix up what I do with what's happening around the world. But guys, if it goes to that amount of money, man, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way: $3,452.80. It's getting kind of scary too. It might break the $3,505 that we had in April 22nd of 2025, just a couple of months ago. It might break that easily. He was telling me that it's going to break it very, very easy. It's going to break that 3505, world record. Never have we have gold in our country at that price of ounce. Never an ounce. We've never had that price. So, and he's telling me that the price of today, 34.52, Monday, boom, it's gonna go, because the more the situation breaks out. I also don't know if you guys know out there, and if you do, maybe you can help me out understand this too. I've been hearing that I believe it's tomorrow, that all the states of our country in the USA were going to be protesting, in every single state of the country. I don't know if that's true. If anybody can shine some thought into that and let me know if that's true or not. But they're saying that every single state of the United States of America tomorrow will be protesting. It's not just no more, California, Los Angeles. They're saying every single state of the country we live in. So I'm trying to give you some kind of direction of what's happening, and it's not a good thing, right, guys? Also, guys, I'm gonna be talking about something a little bit more nice, happier. I'm gonna be talking about the Jiminy Cricket Chia Pet Spray Can Hair Watch Market Update. That Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet, the gentleman that works with Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. He works out of that stable. He works over there with that gentleman. With the Boxing Black Eyes. And so I'm gonna give you the watches that he has on his show, and I'm going to give you the prices he's talking about, that he's hoping that one of you sandbags will buy the watch from them. So I'm going to give you his price that he's saying, and I'm going to give you the price that I believe you should be paying for that watch. All right, to help you guys out, because these guys, this is the way they flim flam you guys. This is the way they fleece you guys, and I'm not in. I don't feel that I should, let this, Jiminy Cricket Chia Pet Spray Can Hair, fleece you and flim flam you. I'm not gonna let that happen. I say that every time that they make a show talking about, our new arrivals that have come into their shop, they give a watch market update. I said that I would do one too. They haven't done one for a couple of weeks because for whatever reason they haven't done one. But I will. I'm gonna give you one. And ladies and gentlemen, so we can get happy this Friday, we can get happy. The first watch, that Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet spray can hair out of the stable of Deputy Boxing Black Eyes has is the AP Royal Oak Yellow Gold Smoke Dial. Yellow Gold Smoke Dial chronograph. You know, Unbelievable looking time machine. This is a beautiful watch, a chronograph. And this watch is the 26240BA. Okay? And the price that Jiminy Cricket, has for that watch is $118,950. These people still believe that they are in the Corona era, that they are in the Corona beer era, and that they can still, get into your children's tuition money and get into your, not even yours no more, because you sandbags don't have no more 401k. They're trying to get into your wife's 401k, And he's asking $118,950. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. I mean, you do whatever you want with your money. It's your money. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $112,500. Right, guys? You do whatever you want. It's your money, but don't pay more than that. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Rose Gold 41 millimeter. 41. The 15510 OR with a blue dial. Unbelievable. This Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet spray can here. Listen to me. If you guys want to see the pictures of the watches that I'm talking about, you go to their channel. And they have there all the watches. I'm doing you guys a big favor. He's asking this price, and I'm giving you this price. All right? So they won't fleece you. So you don't continue maintaining these people's lifestyle. There's a lot of people out there that like to maintain people's lifestyle, even though they're getting this, they want to continue maintaining it, but it is what it is. He's asking for that watch, the 15510 OR, blue dial, rose gold, $89,950. Unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this because I feel that way. I feel that, the prices that I'm giving you are the accurate price numbers, the real price numbers, not what these flim-flammers are giving you over there, these people over there, these people are flim-flammers, and they have been used to fleecing you people. But I'm here now, I have disrupted and rattled the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market. I have, me, quiero permiso, me. I have rattled the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market, all with myself and, Joaquin to you, Kino to me. We've done this, we've done it. And we're going to tell you, don't pay for that AP Royal Oak Rose Gold 41 millimeter 15510. Don't pay more than $83,500. All right, guys? They're not going to be able to take your money that easy. They're not. Do you see the difference of prices they're asking? 89,000, 90,000, 90,000, and I'm telling you not to pay more than 83,500. It's a big difference, guys. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of cow tippers, possum kickers, tomato cans, window lickers, crayon eaters, Palmolive dish lickers that will pay the $90,000. Even me telling you, you still will pay the $90,000. But you do whatever you want. I'm just here to tell you what I believe you should pay. You can do whatever you want with your money. You can do whatever you want. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak rose gold, 39 millimeter. Unbelievable. Smoky gray dial. Smoky gray dial, ladies and gentlemen. Reference number 16202OR. Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet Spray Can Hair, has a price for that watch of $112,995. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm stupid like that, I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. This is a beautiful watch. Beautiful. But don't pay for that watch more than $106,000, okay? And dropping. Just to let you guys know. Just you guys. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Offshore. Black carbon. Black carbon. If you want to see the pictures of these watches, go to the channel. Leave this channel, go over there. And go see them over there, and leave him a nice thing over there. Black carbon, 44 millimeter. Reference number 26400AU. They're asking for that watch over there in their channel, $22,000. $22,000. $22,000. 22,000 maraca. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch more than $17,000. Don't pay more than $17,000. $17,000, and they're asking $22,000. Oof, it's what it is. It's what it is. I'm not going to permit this. I will not permit it. I will not permit it. The situation out there is bad. It is very, very bad out there, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening right now in Israel with Iran, what's happening in the United States of America with all the states protesting tomorrow all over. And it always happens in summertime, Unbelievable, burning cars, burning flags, it's unbelievable. Destroying their own properties where they live at. Papi, the situation is bad out there. I told you guys, if you go back and you see some of the videos that we've done, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be dark times coming. And, people were just, smiling and laughing, skip hopping around through life like rabbits, skip hopping around through life and laughing and licking their lollipop, because, you guys continue being mashuganas. Papi, la situación está jodida. The situation is bad out there, man. It's bad. Somebody got to tell you. Somebody has to be the one to tell you this is me. You can't. Later on, you're going to wish you had that money that you gave away to all these flim-flammers. Usted no puede seguir de lambones y de palomos. No puede seguir más. No puede. Our next watch is another watch that they are even saying on their channel. It is the #1 watch model from this brand, from Audemars Piguet, that they sell. Another flim-flam, to fleece you deep. Fleece you deep. They're talking about, unbelievable, they're talking about the AP 1159 cold. 1159 cold. Unbelievable. Cold 1159, whatever you want to call it, Reference number 26393CR. Right, guys? Don't let these people keep on fleecing you, papa. No sigan de lambones. No sigan de lambones. He's asking for this watch. Jiminy Cricket is asking for the watch $26,950. And I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $21,500 and dropping. All right? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Our next watch, this is unbelievable. If you hear the prices these people are still giving out, you know. Next watch is a Patek Philippe Calatrava. The Patek Philippe Calatrava yellow gold. Travel time, 37 millimeter. You know? 37 milímetros. You know? And watch is the 5134J. You know? They're asking for that watch, ladies and gentlemen, $22,950. $23,000. $23,000. They still haven't got the memo. They still haven't got the memo that the situation at Tahulia, things are bad. Because they want you guys to continue paying for the red gold fast car, paying for the Nike Louis Vuitton sneakers, paying for the Supreme hoodies, paying for their Montclair sweaters, their sushi dinners, you know, the $17,000 steak dinners, you know, Kobe beef, you know, because that's what they want from you guys. These people want to continue taking off your socks off from your shoes, you know. They'll take off your socks off from your shoes. And you don't even feel it when they take it off. These guys are unbelievable. You know, they'll take off your socks off and you don't even feel it. But, you know, you guys do whatever you want. You know, you want to continue maintaining these people who have been, you know, just, it's disgusting what they've done to you. You know, I don't know how these people look in the mirror, you know? I really don't. I'm disgusted. Well, what's happening in the world, I'm disgusted. Unbelievable. They're asking $23,000 for that Patek. Don't pay more than $17,500. All right, guys? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about a watch. You know, when you go see his video on all these watches, you know, he says he is the head buyer, you know, from that stable. He's the head buyer. It's unbelievable. He says he's the head buyer from over there. And he says that this watch is impossible to get. He compares this watch to a 5711 Patek Philippe with a blue dial. He compares this watch with a 16202 with a blue dial, jumbo, you know. You guys know what watch I'm talking about? I'm sure you guys know because you go over there. You like to be over there, you know. You like that over there. You want them to keep on giving you logos over there. They're talking about an FP Journe chronometer, blue, tantalum. Reference number 1304CB39TLIB. Unbelievable. FP Journe, unbelievable. The head buyer. He's comparing this watch. It's like the same thing because it has a blue dial. Has a blue dial and he's comparing it. But this one is just, you know, the material and a leather. You know, a blue leather strap and the blue dial. But he's comparing it to a Patek, to a AP. You know, unbelievable, these people. These people, you know, they give you the subliminal message. They give you the MK Ultra. You know? Para dejarte así, papi, mira. Para dejarte así. And you just give it away. Bah, here it is, papi. Take it all. You know? They leave you with skid marks on your underwears. When you give them the money, and then later on you look, you have skid marks on your Fruit of Loom underwears. And he's asking for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. He's asking for that watch. It's unbelievable. $96,000, $950. $96,950. Unbelievable. Hey, this guy, he says it. No, this is it. This is a watch. This is it. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like that FP Journe Chrono Mitre Blue, you know, don't pay for that watch more than $88,000. Okay? $88,000. You do whatever you want. These people, I hear them and I go, wow, man, they just don't know how to get off the Range Rover. They don't know how to get off the Range Rover. Sometimes in life you gotta get off the Range Rover, Bobby. That monthly payment, it's powerful, but you want to keep on living that lifestyle. So you got to keep on hyping up artificially the prices in the watch market. You know, this is all artificially. And this next watch that I'm going to talk to you about is all artificially. We're going to be talking about a Rolex Daytona Black Dial Oyster Flex 116519. This is crazy. I mean, I hear these numbers that this Mashugana says, and I can't believe it. I just Manishma, Manishma, Habibi, believable, Manishma. And I gotta tell you, he's asking for that watch, white gold, black dial, reference number 116519. I'm even gonna tell you the retail price of that watch, $31,500. And he's asking for that watch. It's an embarrassment, ladies and gentlemen. You should feel privileged, that you 10 organic Watch Channel subscribers are watching this because you're hearing it. He's asking for that watch $43,950 because he calls it in his stable. He calls it, this is like the baby Le Mans. Hear me out. He calls it the baby Le Mans. Unbelievable, but true. You understand me? He calls it the baby Le Mans to fleece you and flim-flam you. The Oyster Flex. I had the chocolate dial. The Ghost. This is the black one because it's black and it's white gold. It looks like the baby Le Mans, and that's why I can charge $44,000. $44,000. $44,000. But I'm voicing out. It was gross. When I heard that, I'm gonna go out to dinner with my wife now, And when I heard, I said, you know what, honey? Let me just do a little live here for these gentlemen, so they can learn something. They can learn something. It's unbelievable. Again, one more time. This is also your favorite word. Discontinue, collector's grade, collector's choice, collector's dream, collector's unit, white gold, black dial, oyster flex, retail price $31,500, and he's calling it the baby Le Mans to give you this deep, real juicy deep, por ser lambones y por ser palomos, por ser palomos. And ladies and gentlemen, he's selling that watch. And a sandbag will pay him the $44,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't you dare pay for that watch more than $34,000. Okay? Don't you dare. July and August is around the corner. Let them sweat it out, Bobby. They're going nuts. They don't know what to do. Las Vegas was terrible. That Vegas show over there, when they were hyping prices amongst each other, back and forth. Buy from me, I'll buy from you back again. Buy from you, buy back again. So we can do the same stunt we did in the Corona era. Papi, I know all the tricks, man. I know them all. I'm too involved. Unbelievable, but true. I'm too involved. I know them all. I know the tricks. They think that this is going to happen again. They're thinking. Times are different, Bobby. I'm telling you, times are different. Look around. Look in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. And be careful with your children's tuition money. Don't pay. I'm telling you, don't pay. Don't pay for that watch more than $34,000. You do whatever you want. It's your money. The baby Le Mans. If you want to leave now, go see their channel so you can see him. The guy with the Chia Pet spray can hair, Jiminy Cricket. He looks like a Charlie Brown now. If you look at him real, like a Charlie Brown. You look at him, it's unbelievable. But you do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear something even more crazy? Again, even more crazy. They have there a Rolex stainless steel, GMT, Bruce Wayne with a Jubilee bracelet. Papa. Jubilee bracelet. They call it the Bruce Wayne. It's unbelievable, that black and grayish ceramic bezel. You won't believe this, what they're asking for this watch. Reference number 126710 GRNR. You won't believe what he's asking for this watch. I'm even going to give you the retail price. The watch costs $10,800. And he's asking for that watch $22,500. $22,500. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $16,800. You do whatever you want. That's their watch market update, Deputy Boxing Black Eye Stable, Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet spray can hair. That's his watch market update. But I'm going to give you one more watch because one of my organic watch channel subscribers asked me about this watch. And I've been telling you for the last month, when it came out in Watches and Wonder, this thing is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. It's dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Good evening, Mr. Donut. I'm telling you, it's dropping faster. And I'm talking about a watch that they were like going crazy with this watch. And I'm telling you, this watch is going to keep on dropping big time. It was at $110,000, $110 in April when it came out. We're talking about the Rolex Yellow Gold, green dial, champagne, gold gauges. Unbelievable, The next dead John Mayer. The John Mayer. Unbelievable. $47,000 retail price watch. You know what I'm talking about. If you want the reference number, we'll give it to you too. 126508. 40 millimeter. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want. But this is beautiful. Because every number that I say is right there. They say, man, God damn it. How does this man know it? And I'm going to tell you again today. Sir, if you're looking at this, here it is what you requested. Here's what you requested. This brand, if you want it. Right here. Okay, you see that? I have an organic watch channel subscriber here that just finished telling me he saw it at one moment at $124,000. $124,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last watch of the evening. I have to go eat with my wife, My wife loves me, and I love my wife. So we're going to go have we're going to do a little bit of cheeky boom boom, cheeky boom boom out there. Me and the wife, I'm telling you, my wife is unbelievable. This wife of mine is, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Don't get scared. It's just dropping. It's dropping. Don't pay more than $83,000 in dropping, ladies and gentlemen, right? There's your watch market update. I hope you learned something about gold and what's happening out there. And ladies and gentlemen, like I told you, tomorrow, I believe is going to be a day, I believe it's tomorrow, which every single state in the United States of America will be under protesting, protesting on the situation that's happening in California, Los Angeles. So, be careful on the highways. People are right now are hurting, and some people have different beliefs, and that's respected. At least for me, it's respected. But I ask all of you to be very, very careful tomorrow. Be cautious in what you're doing, right? It's going to be a protest wherever you live in the United States of America. All right, guys? Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video. Don't forget that, guys. Don't forget to give, I got 17 subscribers and 8 thumbs up. That's an embarrassment, but it's what it is for something that I just do because I'm a good, kind man, It's what it is. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, guys. And like me and Sweet Kikino will say every other day, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys.